Hello YouTube and polyphonic.org, and welcome back to my office. I hope everybody had a really great Christmas and New Year's, and I certainly did. I certainly needed the break. And I'm a little bit behind in the vlogs here, and I'll tell you why. It's because my computer crashed and my external hard drive crashed all at the same time. So it's now back and fixed, which is just so lovely. And if you have a Mac product, you should get AppleCare because it is fantastic. I sent my computer out, or rather they sent me a box overnight, and then I sent it out to them, which was overnight, and then they fixed it in 4 days and sent it back to me, which was also sent back to me at overnight, which was amazing. So Apple, great product care, and you should definitely get the AppleCare if you have Apple products. So anyway, I have a few things to catch up on, and first of all, we had a concert, and this concert did a little bit something different this time. For every concert, we've had a discussion of the works performed beforehand, and the concerts are at 7, so the discussion of works performed is at 6. So we had 6 to 6:30. I talked about stuff and took some questions about the pieces that were going to be played, and people loved it. And then they had nothing to do from 6:30 to 7. So this time we brought in some refreshments and had kind of a gathering outside the auditorium before the concert, and people loved that because I had some an official Q&A session after my kind of talk, and then afterwards I went out and kind of talked to the people who were coming. We had about 30 to 40 people, and they all had lots of questions, and they were able to ask me in kind of an informal way, and I was also able to meet a lot of the people who were connected to the individuals in the ensemble, which was really good. So if you are doing a concert series and you're thinking about having some kind of discussion ahead of time, having a little reception after that allows you to kind of talk with the people who are connected to the individuals in your ensemble, whether it be parents, relatives, what have you. So I do have a list of stuff here to kind of talk about. Apologies if I'm looking over to the side, but that's why I have to make up for a couple of vlogs, so it'll be a little bit longer, but hang in there, we got some good stuff to talk about. So before this concert, I was on actually a local radio show, and the radio show was for kind of an arts thing that happens every week, and different things are featured, and they featured the music department at the college. So if you ever have a chance to go and talk on the radio, you should definitely go. It is a little bit strange sitting in the studio and talking to a microphone and thinking, oh, wow, this is lots of people are listening to me, but it is great, great, great PR for the college. So speaking of PR, I have a portfolio class that I'm teaching this semester, and the semester, or the class rather, the purpose is to have the students explore different career avenues in music. Although they might know, oh, I'm going to become a performer, and that's what I want to do. This class kind of makes them look at different angles of things. Alright, if that's what you want to do, great, but come up with 4 other career ideas that we can pursue. And we're using this book. It's called Beyond a Talent. Looks like that. And it is by Angela Myers Beeching, which I'm reading backwards in the video. I don't know why that's... Anyway, Angela Miles Beeching. I'll put the link in the video down below. But this book is really great. It gives a whole bunch of ideas about how to pursue a musical career, and kind of ideas about how to build into that career. So it's not just like, oh, you want to be a recording engineer? Great, go to school and do it. It talks about how to build a relationship in your the society of your consumers, and also has kind of ideas about what you need in order to achieve your goals, which is really interesting. So if you are not having a job yet, you should definitely check that book out. Okay, so another thing I do want to talk about is if you are a performer and teaching, I think it's really important to set a practice routine and kind of stick to it, because it's very difficult to continue practicing 4 hours a day while you're still teaching, conducting the jazz band, conducting the wind ensemble, playing in the brass quintet. It's very difficult to kind of have kind of a set routine where you can play enough in order to sustain the level of performance that you need. I found that I have a door schedule here which tells the students when they can come and see me or when I'm teaching, and if I include my practice schedule, or I guess where the blocks where I'm going to be playing on that then I feel more of a commitment to actually be doing that. Especially if you're trying to get 4 or 5 hours of practicing done a day. It's very important to schedule it in, because otherwise I walk out in the hallway and then 3 students want to talk to me, and then another professor wants to talk to me about something that's going on next week, and then I go a little bit down and try to get a copy done, and then all of a sudden that hour's gone. And so if I schedule it in, I'm like, okay, this is my practice time, then people know when I'm practicing, and also I know when I'm practicing. And it also gives you a little bit of liability, because if it's on your door and you're like, messing around in the hallway and people are like, oh, don't you practice during this time? It's like, oh yeah, I do. So it's helpful, and it also helps get kind of a routine, which is really important, especially if you're getting calls like I just got called last night to come and play with the Billings Symphony. So if I'm not continually keeping up on my playing, I might be a little bit rusty when I come in. I don't want that. So I would really advise on getting some kind of a set schedule and putting it up there so that you're responsible for it and people know what you're doing during that time. Okay. So, last bit, I'm going to talk about the new concert repertoire that we're doing for the wind ensemble and jazz ensemble for the next concert. In the wind ensemble pieces, we're doing a whole second suite in F, which is just fantastic, obviously, and it's great to do a piece of music that is a certain standard in the wind ensemble repertoire. And we're also doing a piece by Michael Colgrass called Mysterious Village, and this is a huge contrast because Holst is very, very early in the kind of career of the wind ensemble, the history of the wind ensemble. And the Colgrass is obviously very, very new, and it gives you a nice contrast in the concert. We're also going to use the skills of the artist who did this painting back here, is Tani Schuler, and she's going to, with the help of one of her students, she's the art professor here, and she's going to be painting a work on a large canvas representing the musical ideas in kind of painting shapes and ideas as the music's happening at the concert. So we're going to take advantage of this artist who's here and use her skills to help kind of visually portray the music that we are projecting from the stage. So that should be really interesting. I'm kind of running a little short on time, but in the jazz ensemble, we're doing a couple of pieces by the Buddy Rich Band, or who are as performed by the Buddy Rich Band in a mellow tone, and also we're going to be doing the Stan Kenton ballad, and Here's That Rainy Day, which is a fantastic piece. And just so you know, I'm not programming these like, oh, I really love these, we should program them. I'm realizing that we have the performers to do these pieces right now. We have a great drummer, we have great saxes, and we have great trombone section. We have 5 trombone players. So know the people that you want to or are able to feature before you continue and say, oh, I'm just going to play this piece because it's great, Channel 1 Suite, let's go. Well, you can't really do that unless you know that you have the performers to back it up. So always check that out in your performers. I know this one is going a little bit long. I'm looking on the ticker down here. And I really appreciate you hanging out for the whole time. And I'm glad to have my computer back, which means vlogs again, which would be really nice. So I hope that you again had a really safe holiday, and welcome back. Talk to you later.